Hi guys, Splatter Trigger here, and today I'm going to try to do a recent pickup video in one take, just like I used to in the old days. So first up, I wanted to mention two fellow YouTubers that kind of hooked me up with a couple deals, and very nice would be 78 Strider Hyrule for hooking me up with the Alundra World map that came with the in-game, so I was able to complete that Working Designs title. I appreciate that, Freddie. Thanks a lot. Next up would be 911 Bones, who hooked me up with Sega Saturn. And most of you don't know, mine died actually a long time ago, and I gotta dig out the old hookups to see if this bad boy still works or not. This is untested, so hopefully it does. If not, it was still a very kind gesture. So moving up onto the video games, actually, the only 360 title I picked up in recent months was Death Smiles, which I did a complete unboxing for to show you what's in the package here. This is the limited edition. Um, if anybody still don't know about this game, it's basically, it's done by Cave. It's a shooter, shoot 'em up, whatever you want to call them. I highly suggest picking this game up. It's very enjoyable. I'm still popping in and playing it once in a while. Next up, I picked up Skies of Arcadia Legends for the GameCube, and if some people who do or do not know, this actually was originally released on the Dreamcast, and this is sort of a pseudo remake that was released on the GameCube. It's actually kind of hard to find nowadays, like just sitting around a GameStop store on a used bin and whatnot. But yeah, very unique and enjoyable RPG. I'm gonna have to take a dip here onto the import front. I picked up Final Fantasy X International, the Japanese version. I think this is the version that was released in Europe. I can't remember off the top of my head the full specifics behind it. I think it has an extra level in it, I believe, like another boss or something, and I think it has English subtitles in Japanese language. So it was like a remake, a re-release of Final Fantasy X, and I was able to get the pre-order Unalesca card with it as well. So continuing on with the PS2, I was able to snag a Retro Reclaim, is the best way I can put it. Two of them here. Grandia 2, which I used to have for the Dreamcast back in the day. Sadly, I don't anymore. I'll probably have to pick that up eventually. I never got the PS2 version back in the day because I had the Dreamcast. So, the GameStop bargain bins do work out in your favor sometimes. And also in the bargain bin was Suikoden 3. I actually had this entire series, sold it all. Yes, I had Suikoden 2, and it's no longer in my collection. I will get it back one day, but it's expensive. But 3 I found for, I think it was like $12 or something at GameStop. But either way, it's nice to get that one back. I'm kind of getting, everything's on a pile over here, so I'm going to kind of be jumping back and forth. Next up would be a sealed copy for the Turbo Duo is Lords of Thunder. And I want to thank a fellow YouTuber by the name of Majin Powers for turning me onto a seller on eBay who's actually got, I think, like 5 of these left, sealed, brand new copies. But anybody who's never played this, it's a Lords of Thunder is basically it's a shooter, but it's got a kick-ass soundtrack. It's got an amazing soundtrack to this game. It's fun overall, too. The next 3 titles are Nintendo DS games. First up will be Hashigami Remix. I believe this was originally released on the PlayStation 1. I never had the original, but Axis released this in the States. So I haven't had much time into this. I believe it's a strategy RPG, but I just recently picked this up a few days ago. Haven't had too much time to put into it yet. Next up is one of the games that's really consuming most of my time, and that would be Dragon Quest IX. Yes, I have the strat guide as well, but I will not be showing it in this video. It's on a shelf over there right now, and I just didn't have the time to pull it out, etc. Either way, if you're not playing Dragon Quest IX and you own a DS, there's something wrong with you. This game is phenomenal. Your standard RPG, but it's just very engrossing, a very engrossing game. I've put into many hours into this so far. Many more hours to go before I complete it, but yeah, Dragon Quest IX. And next up would be the Mega Man Zero Collection. If nobody had the chance to play these on the Game Boy Advance, then I highly suggest you pick this up. And for you people who happen to find these types of games too hard, there's an easy level that's very user friendly. I highly suggest you pick it up. You have a fun time with it. Now, the next couple titles I have to talk about here are all for the PSP. And I know I've said in a couple recent pickup videos that I planned on doing a PSP collection. I will not be doing that in a video format. I already started it on my Facebook page, and if anybody's interested in what the collection looks like, I have still photographs of it on my Facebook page. So by all means, find the link on my YouTube channel homepage. Go over there, and if you want to check it out. But that specific collection video, I will not be doing. It's just going to be completely still pictures on Facebook. But now continuing on, since I won't be showing the collection off from the past, I will be showing off the present pickups. First up would be, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, is Hexy's Force. I probably butchered the first name there, but this, if you're a fan of like the PlayStation 1 Saturn days of RPGs, then you're going to love this game. I put 5 hours into it though, and I gotta admit, the story got a little stale for me. It's not that it's a bad game, it's got its unique features, but Dragon Quest IX came out and a couple other games came out, and it kind of just got pushed to the back burner for me. I'm not hating on the game, but please, by all means, if you don't own this game or haven't checked it out yet, at least check some videos out to see how it plays out. Maybe it's up your alley or not. It is enjoyable. It just got pushed back on my to-do list right now. Next up would be Neo Geo Heroes Ultimate Shooting, which I did a complete review on this. If anybody's interested in what this game is about, it's an import title from Japan. So by all means, check out my video on this. And yeah, there was a soundtrack too that I got that apparently I didn't keep in this file. But either way, check it out. And also on the import front would be Ys vs. Sora no Kiseki Alternative Saga, which I also did a review on. This is the limited edition box with the pre-order soundtrack. Highly enjoyable brawler, 3D brawler. Like I said, check out my video if you want to know more about this game. Oh, look at that. See, the fun without editing. There's the Neo Geo Heroes soundtrack. Also continue on with the PSP. The next game besides Dragon Quest IX that is consuming my free time like you wouldn't believe would be Ys 7. This is put out in North America by Xseed. If you guys have a PSP, even if you don't, if you don't, never played an Ys game, whatever, check out Xseed's Ys 7. They localized it in North America. They brought it out of Japan. Great, like 3D action RPG, kind of in the vein of Zelda, but not. I plan on doing a full-blown review on this game in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for that. If you want to see what comes inside this Premier Edition box set, I'm sure there's a bunch of YouTube unboxing videos you can check out. But by all means, people, I can't stress it enough. Check this game out. Buy it if you can. It's an incredible game. And moving on to the GameCube. Another game that I blown away by. I waited forever for this game to come out. It was Sin and Punishment 2. I have the original on the import 64, and this is an on-rails like 3D shooter is the best way to explain it. It's a treasure game. It can be balls hard at times. It's a very, very enjoyable game and highly addicting. And what came out recently, but I've yet to even play it, check it out yet, is Metroid Other M. Sorry about the glare there. And the pre-order GameStop art folio. Really looking forward to checking this out. Hopefully the weekend I can put some time to this and get more of a better synopsis for you guys down the road. You have to excuse the non-editing here, but also before I forget, it was Chrono Trigger Formation Arts. I did a full-blown review on these as well. You can also check out that video. Now, with that being said, let's move down from mostly the newer video game stuff, and I'd like to go on to my two passions right now for collecting, which are currently, as you guys know, are Working Designs and Lunar. But before I get into that, because I just noticed this little guy down below, off of Capcom.com, I think they called them the Servbot Bobble Buddy or something like that. But it was for $10. It's pretty cool. You know, it's a Servbot from the Mega Man Legends series, but it was pretty nice that Capcom put these up. I thought they were only going to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but they threw some up on their site. I'm sure they've got a few left up there. They're only limited to 1,000 according to the site, but for $10, it was a nice little collectible to have. Now moving on into the Lunar front. Recently I was able to come across a sealed copy, it's slightly dented up, of Lunar Legend for the Game Boy Advance, which is like Lunar Silver Star in the Game Boy Advance with like the cutscenes taken out and whatnot. But yeah, it was pretty cool to find this actually sealed. Next up, this is one of the harder to find Lunar titles, and the thing being is I got it for a really great price, which I'm not gonna say. I'm trying to do away with announcing prices, but very hard to find. One of the two hardest Lunar titles to find, especially complete. And I'm going to butcher the Japanese name, so I'm going to use the abbreviated English nickname for it. It's called Lunar Walking School for the Game Gear. I got this obviously complete in box. It's just a side story that takes place, I believe, a couple hundred years before Lunar the Silver Star. And then continuing on with Lunar the Silver Star, I was able to get the original Mega CD version. It came complete with the spine card, which is inside the case. And then continuing on with the Mega CD Lunar 2. Inside this case is also the spine card. There's a soundtrack and a map, I believe. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But yeah, these are the Japanese versions of the originals that were released on the Sega CD abroad. And finally, on the Lunar front was Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Prelude Drama CD, something like that. From what I've read, I believe this was a pre-order item with Lunar 2 on the Mega CD, but I could be wrong, and I'm sure there's probably one of you out there that may confirm or deny that and, educate me a little bit. But beyond that, I got a couple working designs pieces to show off here that I've picked up recently. One would be the Shining Wisdom pin, which used to be sold exclusively to the Working Design store and on their website with you could mail away or order on the site back in the day. And another pin was for Ray Crisis. And the last Working Design affiliated piece I picked up, and I'm pretty proud of this, was an Ark of the Lad collection standee. Look how beautiful that is. To add to my Working Design standee collection and the rest of my collection. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Sorry I was unedited here and quick, but I'm getting really pressed for time recently in my personal life, and it's just hard to keep up with the editing side because most of you guys know it takes forever to edit videos. So I went old school here, old school Splatter Trigger from back in the day. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care.